booktube tag. If you watched my last video, you know that I totally love Hamilton. My sort of musical theater obsession, I haven't seen enough musicals to call it an obsession, but it started with Les Mis and then Phantom and now Hamilton. So I was super excited to do this tag. There will be spoilers, but I will let you know before I say them. If I forget to actually say it, I'll put a little thing on the screen so that you can just skip ahead to the next song card for the next question. So with that being said, I'm just going to jump right in. The first question is based on The Room Where It Happens, and it is a book that you would put yourself into. Really? You even have to ask me? Honestly, almost every video I've watched has said Harry Potter too, so I don't even feel bad about being so cliche. But let's be honest, who would not want to be a witch or wizard and go to Hogwarts? Because I would. The next question is based on the Schuyler Sisters, and it is an underrated female character. Okay, I promise I'm not going to go with Harry Potter for every single question, but for this one I'm going to have to answer Nymphadora Tonks because she is cool and funny and she kicks butt and she's just an all-around amazing character that nobody ever talks about. I mean, I know I have like a problem where the minor characters always become my favorite, but like seriously, people need to talk about her more because she is amazing. The next question is based on My Shot, and it is a character that goes after what they want and doesn't let anybody stop them. For better or for worse, Clary Frey. Throughout that entire series, I felt like every single page of every single book, I was yelling, "Clary, no!" and she did it anyway. It worked out in the end, so I guess that's okay. But let me tell you, she didn't let anything stop her, and it drove me a little bit crazy, but it was who she is. The next question is Stay Alive, and it is a character that you wish was still alive. Okay, there's spoilers for Game of Thrones in this answer, so if you plan on reading that or watching it and you have not yet, mute it and skip to the next song slide. Ned Stark, because I was rooting for him that whole book, and I should have listened to people when they said that your favorite characters always die, but I was like, no, there's no way, like, he's gonna get out of this somehow. I just set myself up for disappointment, but all my favorite characters would have a lot better lives if he was still alive, and he was just a great person, and I was rooting for him. I still wish he was still alive. The next question is based on Burn, and it is the most heartbreaking end to a relationship that you've read. There are spoilers for the Legend trilogy by Marie Lu, so if you don't want to be spoiled, then mute it and skip ahead to the next song slide. Okay, I didn't even have to tell you, if you read this, that it's June and Day, because they were perfect for each other, and I did not see that coming, and it came anyway. The epilogue redeemed it a little bit, but still, if that wasn't a devastating end to a relationship, I don't know what is. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. Okay, the next question is based on You'll Be Back, and it is the sassiest villain that you've read. I had the hardest time coming up with an answer for this one, so if you have a better one, which you probably will, just leave it in the comments below. The best I could come up with were all the gods in Percy Jackson that tried to stop him on his quests, because I remember them being pretty sassy, but I don't feel like I generally read books with sassy villains. They're mostly just evil. So whatever I missed, which is probably really obvious, just let me know, because I cannot think of any sassy villains. Next question is the Reynolds pamphlets, and it is a book with a twist that you didn't see coming. Ignore what I said here because my answer is actually going to be Allegiant by Veronica Roth. I somehow did not see that twist coming. I was reading and other people were around and I still couldn't stop crying because I was that shocked by it. I'm pretty sure it was the first time I read an author killing their main character, so I'm going to have to go with Allegiant by Veronica Roth for this one. The next question is based on Nonstop, and it is a series that you marathoned. I marathoned straight through the Shadowhunter Chronicles a few years ago, so through all of the first 5 Mortal Instruments books and then all of the Infernal Devices books. I still love those books to this day. I still remember like a few years ago reading them all in a row, like back to back, and marathoning straight through them because I just wanted to know how they ended. And now, 2 movies and a TV show later, there are still more Shadowhunters books coming out. Yay! The next question is Satisfied, and it is your favorite book or series with multiple point of views. My first instinct for this one was, again, the Legend Trilogy by Marie Lu, because the way that she differentiates between those 2 point of views is amazing, and you seriously feel like you are in 2 separate people's heads. My other pick for this is the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan, because there are so many characters, and while I think Marie Lu did this more like clearly, you still understand that you're getting in different people's head and they don't feel all the same. And also he has so many characters' point of views that he wrote from, so the fact that he was able to do that is pretty impressive as well. The next question is Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story? And this is a book or series that you feel will be remembered throughout history. Do I have to say anything more? Again, Harry Potter, I love it. So many people love it that it is definitely going to go down in the history books. And I feel like I can say that pretty confidently compared to pretty much any other book or series I've read. I love Harry Potter. Is a relationship that you were pulling from the very start. One of the first series that came to mind for me was The Selection by Kira Cass, because there is a love triangle introduced pretty quickly in this book, and I was firmly on the America Maxim side from the very start. I'm not going to tell you, of course, how it ends, but that is where I stood from the very beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10 dual commandments. It's the 10 dual commandments. Okay, the next question is 10 Duel Commandments, and it is the best fight scene you've read. This is going to have spoilers for Game of Thrones, mostly the TV show, but honestly some of the books as well as the last book of the Percy Jackson series, The Last Olympian. Well, by my logic, most of the big plot points in Game of Thrones Season 6 will be in the Winds of Winter. And my favorite battle that I have read about or seen is Battle of the Bastards from episode 9 of Game of Thrones Season 6. So I'm going to future read that and pretend I've already read it whenever it does come out and say that that is my favorite battle I have read. For ones that are actually out, I remember the battle between Luke and Percy at the end of The Last Olympian being pretty intense, so I'm going to go with that as my honorable mention answer. Okay, the second to last question is for Say No to This, and it is a guilty pleasure read. I couldn't think of a guilty pleasure read that I go back to a lot, but one from this past year was Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, because I don't read a lot of contemporary fiction, and especially not contemporary fiction that is primarily romance. So I really enjoyed that, and I'm going to put that as my guilty pleasure read.
What comes next? You've been freed. Do you know how hard it is to lead? You're on your own. Awesome. Wow. Do you have a clue what happens now? Oceans rise. Empires fall. It's much harder when it's for your cause.
The next question is, what comes next? A series that you wish had more books. Harry Potter, obviously, but I won't use that again. I wish George R.R. Martin would give us the rest of the books for Game of Thrones, but I'm starting to doubt that will ever happen. But my serious answer for this is the Gallagher Girls series by Ally Carter, because those were so enjoyable and fun, but also like serious too, and I just loved everything about them, and I wish there were like 20 more because Cammie's story was brilliant and 6 was not enough. Is based on Right Hand Man, and it is your favorite bro TP. And for this, I'm going to go with Will and Jem from the Infernal Devices. And if you have read those, you totally know why. They are a parabatai, and it's amazing, and they are the best bro TP I have ever read. The last question is, what did I miss? And it is a book or series that you are late or were late to reading. And for this, I decided to go with the Lunar Chronicles. I still haven't read them, but I really want to, and I know a lot of people have, but I'm late to the party, so hopefully I get there eventually. Thank you for watching the Hamilton BookTube tag. If you want to answer any of the questions, I would love to read them in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought. You can subscribe or like, that would be amazing. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time. Thanks, bye!